If I'm going to be completely honest with you, for me, the best way to not binge and eat in the evening is to go to bed. To be honest. Hey everyone! Welcome back to another video with the Dieterville Twins. And on this video, we will be discussing some tips and tricks to stay fit while working a 9-to-5. So as you know, both Nicole and I are 9-to-5 girlies. We work as chemical engineers, and while it can be very stressful, you have to consider a lot more things while working a 9-to-5 and trying to get active and stay on your fitness journey.
So for today's video, we want to give you 10 tips each on how to stay true to your fitness routines and also to stay true to your nutrition plan. So if this is something that really piques your interest, please stay tuned. As I said before, the first 10 tips that we're going to start with are activity tips. And that's pretty much how you're going to get workouts, some type of activity throughout your busy schedule.
Okay, so starting with tip number 1, it's to start your day off with a bang. And that's starting with some form of activity. So I know for myself right now, my first thing I try to get in the morning is a 30-minute walk. And that's on a treadmill in our apartment. Mm-hmm. So whatever activity you can do, something at your home where it's a 10-minute, 20-minute HIIT session in your apartment, in your house, whatever can get you going to start the day.
And I know some people might live in apartment complexes that don't have a gym. So maybe walking a flight of stairs or just going through for a walk around the block, that's something that's good. Just try to get very creative on how you get that activity in. The second tip is to use your commute to your benefit. And I know for myself, I drive to work. I don't live far. I don't live close to where I work. But the way that I kind of implement some type of activity in my commute is I typically park farther away from the entrance so that I have to walk a longer distance to get to where I need to go. So that allows me to get additional steps throughout the day when I'm walking back and forth to my car, which it's great to keep you active throughout the day, and it's so early in the morning as well.
Exactly.
And another thing is, if you do have if you are fortunate to live close to where you work, then maybe try 2 to 3 times out of the week walking to work instead of taking a car or taking a bus, if that is safe to do so. So just try to incorporate little things like that throughout your day. It can really add up in the long term.
Tip number 3 is set an hourly timer. So this one is to make sure that you're doing something active throughout the day. I know for myself at my desk, I'm not setting an hourly timer, but definitely something I will be doing moving forward. But getting in stomach vacuums during the day. So that's something you can definitely do sitting down. Nobody even knows that you're doing it, but it's a good way to stay active and on your fitness journey. For individuals who work in a location where they are able to take a walk, you can walk around the building for a couple minutes and then get back to your seat. It's also a good way to refocus yourself. So taking some time and just going away from your desk, coming back refreshed and ready to tackle the day.
Tip 4 is specifically for those who work from home, and it could kind of apply to those that work in the office. So for 5 to 10 minutes, every couple of hours, you want to do some pull-ups, squats, push-ups. Those are like some of the easier body weight exercises, just so that you can kind of break up that consistent sitting down at your desk and pair it with something that's more to get your heart rate up a little bit more. So that's something that you can incorporate throughout your day.
Exactly. Tip number 5 is a quick one. Take the stairs whenever possible. I know we are definitely used to waiting for the elevator, taking the elevator up and down because it's quick and easy. But if you have to go up a couple of flights anyways, you may as well get some steps in as well. So any opportunity that you have, you can use to take the stairs and get an extra couple of steps in throughout your day.
6 is something that I enjoy doing, is making sure to do a lunchtime power walk. So I just eat my meal, and once I let it digest for a couple of minutes, then I go out to do a power walk. So I work in a plant, so I kind of make sure that I walk from my office to the plant area, talk to the operators, and then just like take a walk, because I have the space to do so in that environment. But for others, it might be just taking a walk around the block where you work. If you work from home, you can do it where you are staying, whatever the case may be. Just implementing more walking consistently throughout the day is going to help you to get that cardio up also throughout the day.
Exactly. And the other great thing about walking, like we've said on one of our other videos, is walking after a meal, especially great for helping with digestion. So you get that food digested and then you're ready to tackle the second part of your day.
Yeah.
So if you are able to and have the opportunity, definitely utilize that to your advantage. Tip number 7 is standing, and standing for meetings, standing for doing work. If you have the option, and I know a lot of offices are implementing standing sitting desks where you're able to raise the desk as needed. Those are awesome for doing work and standing while doing work. And the benefit of that is it's kind of neat calories burnt. That's just everyday calories. It increases that amount of calories burned throughout the day. So if you have that opportunity, I would definitely say use it to your advantage.
Yeah, and I used to have that standing desk and I kind of miss having it, but that's something I did not take advantage of. But if you are one of the people who do have a standing desk, definitely implement that moving forward throughout your routine, and you'll definitely see how that becomes a benefit in your life.
Exactly.
Tip number 8 is implementing more stretches throughout your day. So that can be just staying at your desk, doing some nice head rolls, light back and forth with your head, making sure that you just get that stretch out, especially if you are doing some vigorous, heavy routines in the gym. You want to implement more stretches throughout your day. So that can be in the morning, when you're in the office, and when you come at home just before going to bed, having a nice cool down routine. So that's something that we're definitely going to be implementing more in our routine likewise.
And also, if you are in an office and you sit for most of your day, it's also good to stretch your back, stretch your neck to make sure you're taking care of your body, because constantly sitting and staring at a screen is not the way that your body wants to always stay in. So taking some time, stretching your neck, stretching your lower back so you can prevent those injuries.
Yes, definitely.
Tip number 9 is taking some time out during TV shows to do a mini workout. So that could be on a commercial break. I know a lot of people don't have cable TV.
Yeah, but they're adding
anymore.
Ads now, so that's pretty much a commercial.
So it's perfect. So during commercial breaks, when you're waiting for your program to come back, you can take a couple of minutes to do some crunches or do some body weight exercises, something to get your heart rate going. The more of these it may not seem like a lot of work that you're doing, but it's the accumulation throughout the day. It adds up throughout the day.
And the final tip that we have, tip 10, is to make sure that you utilize your weekend to the max. So for the weekend, we typically have a longer amount of time where we are free to do the activities that we might not have time to do in the week. So that's where we plan our more heavy based routines in the gym. If we go on longer runs, if running is the plan that you're doing, things of that sort. Making sure that we use the weekend time to the best of our advantage so that it can boost us once we have to start the week again on the Monday.
Exactly. And I know for a lot of people, weekend time, because the week is long, very stressful, weekends are usually time you want to relax and not do much. But I feel like the weekend, it's best to still get that activity in, because you want to make sure that your body is constantly getting some kind of activity throughout the day. So it doesn't have to be as intense. I know we do a lot of our heavier lifting on the weekends, but it could be just a simple walk on a Saturday or Sunday just to get your body into some form of activity. So just take that into account for yourselves.
So that's it for the activity-based tips that we have. Next, we're going to go into the nutritional-based tips.
Starting with the first nutrition tip, it's meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. Mm-hmm. And for us, this has definitely been a staple in some form or fashion. But meal prepping is kind of the golden standard of the nutrition aspect of a fitness journey. It's a great way to make sure that during the week you are staying on top of your meals, nutrition-wise, and also for the times where you may be in a rush, you already have it prepped in the fridge, ready to go. So usually for us, we take Sundays as our meal prep day, do grocery shopping, do all the meal prep, and those meals last throughout the week, and they're ready to go.
And it also makes sure that you don't slip up through the week. So I know sometimes I come on a Wednesday, and those are the weeks that I don't meal prep. So I come back on the Wednesday and I'm supposed to cook, and then I'm too tired to cook. Then that leads me into going to buy something that I should not have bought. So it just keeps you prepared for those times where you might slip up and get something that does not fit your nutritional plan. So
proper preparation prevents poor performance. I think that's right.
Yes. Tip number 2 is hydrate like a boss. That pretty much means just make sure that you get in adequate water throughout the day. Whether that, I like to start making sure that I drink water as soon as I get up so that I'm able to drink more water throughout the day. Sometimes I do where I have like at the top of the hour, I drink 1 glass of water, something like that. That can be something that you do. For now, I am more of I have 1 gallon of water and I want to drink it by the time the day is done. And that's been pretty good on this last couple of weeks that I've tried this. So I make sure that I drink my 1 gallon of water for the day and then I'm set.
And I know a lot of people, or some people, may not necessarily love the way water tastes, or I understand. I could definitely understand. So there's different ways to hydrate. There are also things that you can add to water that kind of makes it taste better. Just do your research and see what ways can you kind of flavor the water that's makes it taste better so you're able to consume it.
Exactly.
But I drink 1 gallon a day, and I think that's a good way to start. Mm-hmm. Tip 3 is starting the day off right, and that's with protein. So making sure that first meal of the day is protein rich. Protein is great if you're in a muscle building phase. Protein is great, but also the thing about protein, it's very filling. So it keeps you full, and it's a great way to start the day. So things that have protein, if you want to do eggs, if you want to do some kind of meat, turkey bacon, there's so many different options. And I know a lot of brands are putting more protein in the items. I was eating protein yogurt, 20 grams of protein in 1 serving. So just be mindful of that and kind of tailor your morning meals with a higher protein intake.
Exactly. I completely agree. Tip 4 is to snack smart. Making sure that your snacks are nutrient dense and they also fit whatever nutritional plan that you're on. So for me, I'm going to go into this week eating more fruits, eating more nuts. These are the things that I enjoy, but also they fit my nutritional plan. So just understanding that, making sure that if you are someone who has a certain amount of macros that you have to eat in the day, that these snacks that are paired different parts of your day also fit that plan.
Exactly. And I would say get into thinking of snacks that are whole foods. But again, it's just more being mindful of the ingredients if you do choose to have processed foods. Look at the ingredients, get used to that habit of reading the ingredients, making sure it's nutritious and will give you all the nutrients that you need.
Exactly.
Tip 5 is to ditch the sugary drinks.
Ooh.
This one is huge. And I think on a fitness journey and nutritional, just being more mindful of what you put in your body, a lot of juices and even healthy juices, sodas, they contain a lot of calories, a lot of sugar. So if you look at the nutritional facts for 1 serving of a soda, 250 calories. 250 calories, you drink that and you're not satisfied because it's pretty much nothing. So just being mindful of those drinks, you can swap it out for a herbal tea or something lower in calories. I would say sugar-free drinks, but again, do your research on sugar-free drinks.
Yes.
There potentially could be a lot of downfalls for some of the some of the sweeteners that are used. So do your research, but look at other options aside from those high sugar content drinks.
Yes, I completely agree with the sugary drinks, limiting them as best as possible. But if you are starting a fitness journey and you really want to challenge yourself, I'd say kind of cut them out completely, like slowly build up to cutting them out. Because if you think of it, which one is going to be a better treat for you? Is it having a nice like bowl of fruit or drinking like a sugary drink? In my eyes, I think the bowl of fruit is a little better. It will keep me full a little longer. And just usually when I drink a juice or a pop, it doesn't really do much for me. So just weighing it like that, you'll see that the sugary drinks, if you cut them off and just feed yourself with like more nutrient dense whole foods, you can kind of go without having them. So that's the way I see the sugary drink discussion. Tip number 7 is to balance your macros. I know some of you may not know, but the 3 main things that we look out for when we look at macros is protein, fats, and carbs. So you want to make sure that you have a balance of each of them depending on what nutrition plan you're on. We're not going to get too heavy into that, but depending on what nutritional plan you're on, you want to make sure that you're getting a bit of that throughout your entire day. And each of them has its own benefits. That's why it's very good to make sure that it's balanced according to what your routine and what your plan is.
Exactly. Tip number 7 is portion control. So a great way to make sure that you are aware of the items that you're eating is to measure them out. So making sure that you're measuring out each item, whether it's a snack or your protein that you're eating with a meal, measure that out so that you're aware of how many calories you're consuming with each meal. I know for me, in this aspect, I generally like to eat smaller meals. So I'd eat probably 5 or 6 meals a day, because that for me is a great way for me to hit the macros at the end of the day while having something to eat every couple of hours. I know some people, they may like a bigger meal.
Yeah, which is me. I like having the 3 big meals.
Exactly. So Nicole likes eating bigger meals. I prefer just smaller meals. But whatever works for you. That's the great thing about this is you can tailor it to suit your needs.
Exactly. And something that's helped me for sure is having a scale and measuring out the portions, because 1 cup is 1 cup, but just eyeballing it sometimes until you really understand it, it's going to be better just to use the scale, use the measuring spoon or the measuring cup so that you're consistent all around.
Exactly. It may begin, like in the beginning, it may be tedious, but in the end, if you're looking for those results, this is a great way to start.
Yes. Tip number 8 is limiting processed foods. And this is something that we've discussed earlier in this video. Processed foods, switching them out for whole foods. Whole foods is the thing that's nutrient dense, and it's going to allow you to just be overall more filled and more, get that nutrient that you actually need to develop and build the muscle or just get to where you need to be in your fitness journey. So swapping out the bag of chips for maybe some nice Greek yogurt or a bowl of fruits, those are daily changes that you're going to have to make while on your fitness journey. So keep that in mind.
And the other thing for processed foods, I don't know if you realize, but when you eat processed foods versus eating a whole foods with the same number of calories, the satiation that you feel from processed foods, it's not the same as whole foods.
Yeah.
You feel way more full when you eat whole foods. So take that into consideration. If your diet includes a lot of processed foods, you may want to do that swap and see how you feel throughout the day with eating that kind of food.
Exactly.
Tip 9 is to avoid late night eating and binging. So if I'm going to be completely honest with you, for me, the best way to not binge and eat in the evening is to go to bed. To be completely honest with you, it's for me to go to bed. If it's getting really late and I know and I'm in a prep and I've consumed all my macros for the day, that's why I generally go to bed earlier, because I'm not going to eat something really heavy late in the evening. And it could just be, I know sometimes I just have lower calorie snacks later in the evening. So if it's a bowl of veggies with a low calorie dip, that's a great evening snack.
Or some popcorn. Like popcorn is a great healthy option. Do the airless path, not the oil or butter path though, because that saves on calories as well.
Exactly. So just preparing yourself for those times, having a quick snack so that you're not overindulging in something that you didn't want to eat because it's late in the evening.
Exactly. So for the final tip, it's going to be tip 10, which is to cheat smartly. I know for me, sometimes on my fitness journey, I allow myself to have one cheat meal a week. And even though it's a cheat meal, you don't want to overdo it sometimes. You still want to be within that macro range, but still enjoy the meal that you decide to choose. So make sure that when you do have your cheat meal, make it still be a healthy option. You can indulge a bit, but don't go too over so that you don't go over on your fitness goals.
And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a designated day to cheat.
Yeah.
If you, and again, we can get into another video. We can have another video where we explain this in detail. But macro-wise, if it fits your macros, and a lot of people kind of make meal plans based on that, it may be okay to have if it doesn't compromise other aspects.
Exactly.
Like, you want to make sure you're getting the right nutrients, but in essence, maybe a cookie or something that you enjoy daily in small amounts, in the long run, it likely won't impact your fitness journey. But again, moderation.
Exactly. Do it smartly, and anything in moderation, it actually won't kick you far off of your goals. So make sure that to remember to keep that in mind.
So that's it. We gave you 10 tips on the nutrition side as well as on the fitness side to help you if you're a 9-to-5 girly or guy that wants to get on a fitness plan and stay active.
So if you enjoyed this video, as always, can you please subscribe to our channel and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Apart from that, thank you for sticking along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.